Hey, I'm Willie from Zombie Star, and this week in comics, we're catching up. We're still catching up. You've probably seen these titles. They've already been released for a while, but have to talk about them. These titles just blowing me away. We got one #1 and some follow-up issues. Let's get started. Mazebook, issue #1 by Jeff Lemire. Every now and again, something so different comes along that I struggle to connect with it. Mazebook #1 introduces Will, a man living the later years of his life, really caught up in his routine that he's become emotionally numb and isolated. Will's memory worsens by the day as images kind of flash and fade before him. One thing that I'm loving about the story so much is Lemire's kind of cryptic use of some imagery like threads. And I love the concept that you can pull on a thread without knowing what you're going to unravel. The concept of mazes is very interesting, as kind of their purpose is to have you searching with uncertainty. Will receives a disturbing phone call and a cry for help that will force him out of his routine, and he will have to find the strength in order to regain what he lost. It being a very heavily character-focused story, I'm really excited to see how Will is going to change and what he's going to have to endure in order to regain what he lost. Artistically, Lemire is using a lot of mood really to portray the kind of the perception and demeanor of the main character, Will. And the only color that Will is allowed is that of his fading memories, which is a very powerful mechanic for this kind of story. And Lemire is just really good of using his own artwork to really enhance the narrative. And Mazebook #1 is a really good example of that. #1 was a slow read, not gonna lie. A very heavy drama, and like I said, character focused. So it's really just the story of Will. Where it will go from here, is yet to be seen. But if you are into just a heavy drama story, very character driven story, Mazebook will be for you. For me, something very different. Coming from titles like Trillium and Ascender and Descender, Mazebook is something really new as a Lemire fan, and I am personally enjoying it. This was our only cover. Alright, Ascender, issue #18. This has ended, and while it did a great job of wrapping up the story, I'm really going to miss reading Jeff Lemire's Descender, now called Ascender. Lemire delivered a very carefully crafted world and really just mixed up some of the best things that we love about science fiction, fantasy, and drama, all in one story. The scope of Ascender is absolutely massive, as the story takes you across various different planets, introduces different races and species, and even includes super intelligent, powerful, sentient machines, and mixes it up with magic or sorcery. Starting from 2015, when issue #1 was released, now to issue 18 of Ascender, this has just been a really great tale of a machine's understanding of the concept of family, while the humans alongside it fight to reconnect with theirs. Among the many successes of Descender and Ascender, just the things that it's done, the artwork is an achievement on its own. Lemire and Nguyen have really just brought this massive world to life with just beautiful and intense artwork and just surreal, original environments. Issue #18, this ended. This is our only cover. So I think I'm due for a reread. I mean, that's what I do when a book ends. I just start from the beginning with issue #1 of Descender. This is where it all started. This is awesome. Gonna miss it, but it's Lemire. And that guy does so much work, and he's just a really good writer and artist. And Ascender and Descender are just two really good examples of it. Ascender 18. All right. Radiant Black, issue #7. This has really shifted gears since its first issue. Kind of like where it started, it was a single character focused morality tale, and it's really shifted into now this ensemble of characters, and kind of focused on kind of exploring concepts of trust and the challenges of having to rely on others. The creator of Radiant Black has been very vocal about Power Rangers being an inspiration for the title, although it really does take a more mature tone and really just does make it a story of its own. The characters do have color-coded suits, and of course they are each gifted with unique abilities, which just makes for that kind of superhero kind of classic story. I even get the feel of like a really early Avengers kind of team up. very comical in its dialogue and these characters and how they play off one another, even challenge one another while their lives are in absolute peril. Artistically, this has really been kind of in line with just a classic comic book story in a very comical and animated look. Their powers and just the increase of kind of action from issue 1 to issue 7 has really allowed for some beautiful spreads as their cosmic powers are really now starting to collide, and really just giving us some beautiful spreads. Radiant Black, issue number 7, for Power Rangers fans, superhero fans, kind of like just like that superhero story. Radiant Black is actually really good and really does stand apart, where we can get a lot of stories like this. I'm really enjoying Radiant Black. This is issue number 7 and the only cover that we have. This is a lot of fun. And that is what we read for this week at the Zombie Star. Here's some awesome titles going off, kind of a Jeff Lemire themed This Week in Comics, as one ended but another one just began, and that Radiant Black is a lot of fun to read. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see y'all next time. Visit us at thezombiestar.com, and I'll see you next week in This Week in Comics.